Oh, Kosher Catfish here. Trying to fit in. Trying to get the pussycat. The pussycat has come to hang out with his daddy. Just to see what daddy had to say. But he's just a pussycat. And it's probably not that good that he hears what I gotta say today. Hallelujah. Oh, the pussycat. Anyway. See, I had this here. Hopefully the mole is functioning properly. I hope it is. I hope it is. Otherwise, I'm just wasting a lot of time trying to get things set up right. Now, you know, this here CLT repellent thing is what I wore because of the shallow fields. The shallow fields, that woman that wore that stuff back in the 60s, and she's a flying un. She's a flying un. Well, I just took what she did and put it on my head in a slightly different way, using screen wire and stuff like that. And I flutter. I've told you about that. Go watch the video. Anyway, why am I here to talk to you about the pussycat? The pussycat is back here at my feet again because he wants to hang out with his daddy. We keep having these thunderstorms and stuff. It's freaking everybody out. Even old Kosher Catfish gets freaked out by some of this stuff on occasion because I don't have no tree, no cypress tree to climb up in, get up inside, and it'd take a hell of a tornado to take down a 15-foot across the bottom cypress tree. So I have to worry because I'm not in the bayou. Anyway, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm here because I'm trying to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is called, is it worth it trying to fit in? Stories of country to the city. I don't know if I can keep all that stuff going, but the whole point is everybody's freaking out. They're taking drugs. They're going to psychiatrists. They're doing all kind of stuff because they don't feel like they fit in. Well, guess what, homebrew? Kosher Catfish never felt like I fit in much anywhere. Because of the way the circumstances and the weirdnesses of what I had. It's that kind of stuff. So to fit in uses energy. It causes you to not think. It causes you to do something that maybe you would never do. Like Kosher Catfish will have to deal with, like in the science thing, being in the community university, with the kind of stuff that I thought, in the way that I studied and such. Not necessarily with faith in God be part of what any old other PhDs and other stuff people around you want to hear about, because they don't believe that shit. So you don't fit in. Well, then you're a person that comes from a city. Well, I didn't come from a city, but I just gonna put them first because there's more of them than there are of us now. It used to not be that way. But the person that comes in from the city, and I've seen this with my own M-U-T-H-E-R mother, when she come up here to visit me, where I'm at. Me and my beloved went out and left the mama at home. The mama wasn't that old or nothing. It wasn't like something strange. We left her at home, and we went and did something, and we came back. She was walking around the trailer, and of course, Kosher Catfish live in a trailer, And the mama wasn't used to it, so that could have had something to do with it. But she was like, oh, and she was crying. And we said, Mama, what is wrong with you? She said, Kosher Catfish, it is too quiet. It is too quiet here. I didn't know what the hell to say. I moved here because it was quiet. That was the whole point. So what the hell are you going to do with a whole bunch of millions of city people if its lights go out and everything's quiet? Are they going to go around like my mother and go, we don't know what to do. We're going to eat each other or something like zombies? Kosher Catfish's concern is it may happen that way because to not fit in is what makes you stick out. So to not fit in is what makes you stick out. Well, that may be very apparent, but there's a bunch of underlying circumstances about, do you really need to fit in? Is it good just to fit in? Now, in some circles and circumstances, it's understood that you go with the majority. It's called democracy. And in my foundation, it's called a demonocracy. But in the ways of the man and the man that wants to get out of hand and get the upper hand, it's a democracy. 51 to 49 in your ass is what gets put on the spit. That's what happens. Which is why, it's not exactly what we're dealing with, because somebody was thinking ahead of time. Because in a few generations, you can take all that stuff and do what you want. Which is why the CRTs are trying to be hidden somewhat with the headgear. If you see it flutter, if you watch it very close, you may see it go, oh, like that. And what it is doing, it is lifting the Kosher Catfish up off the ground, so I'm not in touch with what the CRT is doing. Even though I got one looking at me, that sucker just sits there and look at me, and I don't understand why. But it's necessary always to fit in. Now, Kosher Catfish was raised back in the bayou stuff. And the other part of the family, they was raised down in there in the hook'em horns, whatever the hell they do down there, down towards the coast of Galveston and stuff like that. And I liked it. I liked the cowboy hats, and I liked the bulls, and I like a whole lot of bull and the cows. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But what it was, is Kosher Catfish went back there. I was 13, 14 years old. It was back in the 70s. It was back when you had the KIKK. And back when you had John Travolta was soon was going to be riding on a bull at some point. And anyway, I would go up there and see the family during the summer. But Kosher Catfish come from the bayou, and I had not seen these. I was scared to go up. I was scared to go up elevators. I would not go up a large building because that just scared the hell out of me. I could understand climbing a tree, but going up in an elevator, I don't know. Escalator, I thought escalator was fun. But, it's like just a story up or so, and another story, but to go up 30, 40 stories, that was nuts. Give me a tree. Let me climb the tree, and I'll get up there to the 30th or the 40th story, and it'll be okay. But don't put me in no man-made shit and tell me it won't fall, because I know it will. Captain Luddite still lives inside Kosher Catfish. It's the way it works. So do you still need to fit in? Well, what happened to me was every year I'd go from this here culture to that there culture. Then the country stuff, and you've heard me talk about lots of country stuff, and then I'd go to the city stuff. And it just messed with my psyche, and I was a young person, and nobody ever sat down and talked to me about this kind of stuff, and it was just like culture shock. Every year, Kosher Catfish went through culture shock. And sometime down there at that big old city thing, it's like a damn cookie jar. You just have the cookie jar. You'll reach your hand in there and you just get some, and it makes you, it's just bad stuff. It's just way too much. So you really have to fit in. Now, Kosher Catfish got my sister to come down to the bayou one year. She was scared shitless. We took her out at night on the four-wheelers. We took her out in the boat. We took her gigging. She didn't know what to think about it. We took her shooting and all kind of stuff. And by the time it was over with, she was sold. She liked it. She thought that was cool, but she didn't understand. Well, but she had not been brought up there and done that yearly like I was taken down there to the big old city and done like I was. So it's that culture shock. And folks don't realize that culture shock is a real thing. It's a very, very real thing. Where I live, we got cows, and people ride horses and deal with cows. And we got the river, and we got all kind of stuff where it's just about the livestock and the chickens and all that stuff. Well, at one time, that's the way the world worked. You go back 100 years, and that's the way 85% of the world worked. You come up to now, and it's the other way. You got the 80, 85 in the cities, and you got those people out here in the country. And almost never the two to twain shall meet. And then we got the interlopers, where folks come in, and they think they can be part of this or part of that, and they come in and just water down and change the way the whole thing works. And that's what's been disturbing to me. But that's okay. Do we really have to fit in? Well, Kosher Catfish, I got to scratch up the ground. I got to do something that's real. I can't look to the gig economy, because since I ain't around by you no more, I can't gig. I never understood that. People talking about the gig economy, and I didn't understand. Yes, Louisiana, the boot, was a sportsman's paradise, but how in the hell you can get all them people down there to do the gigging? So I thought that was silly, and I stayed away from the gig economy. I guess it was a necessity, because I had the foresight of dealing with the gigging way back when. At some point, you cannot get enough fish to feed your family. You'd have depleted the bayous and the streams and various other things of the fish. So forget the gig economy. I don't understand that. I think it's just better to have a steady job. Steady job. To understand what life is. Your steady job is to teach your children. Your steady job is to protect your household. So do you really want to fit in? Or do you want to protect your household? Protect your babies? Protect your beloved? To build? Can you fit in the gig economy? Because if everybody's just out gigging, who is back propping up and fixing and taking care of all the necessities that build humanity? Here we shuffled off humanity into something I consider insanity. I mean, you look at me. I'm wearing something to try to keep the insanity out, and it still tries to seek in. I mean, you can hear on every once in a while I go, "Meep, meep," and it's like a glitch. It's like the machine glitches. It's just the machine in me, I guess. So Kosher Catfish decided a long time ago, when I look at certain philosophical issues and the way history is worked out, going with the crowd very often get most of the crowd in a bad situation. So I'm gonna try to, what thing? See, it's lifting me. It's lifting me. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that because I don't know what else to say. But to go with the crowd. To go with the crowd. Go read about people that go with the crowd. Anyway, I ain't that proud, but I still, those captains having a hard time. I had to use a lawnmower the other day. I still am proud to have my shroud. You see, my Apatan Apu shroud is still here. So to fit in sometime would get you in trouble, because you couldn't go around telling people you was happy to have your shroud. No, unless it was that other shroud that it may or may not be real. I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I just want to talk a little bit about, do you really have to fit in? Do you really have to fit in? What does that even mean? Did you know that there is doctrine out there that talks about people that try to go out and have gardens and critters and things like that and have a life? Oh, actually, the problem? To me, that sounds like calling good evil and evil good. It sounds strange. Because a human being, Pt.1, the thing that was made from the beginning, is a blessed thing. And it just needs to be nurtured and taken care of. That's all. That's all we got to do. Quit trying to fit in. Get into your real skin. Here comes the cocks and the chickens and all them things that makes life worth living. Because tonight I'm going to eat me a souffle off of their eggs. And I may put one of them in the pot tomorrow. That's the nice thing about having a natural life. Anyway, I'm trying to stay away from strife. I'm going to elevate myself here somehow or another. Anyway, Kosher Catfish still worried about you, still praying about you. And I got to go. This is going to fall off my head. Then maybe spot.